to mind when you think of the image of a child? For some of you pessimists out there in the audience, perhaps the image that comes to mind is snotty noses and screaming children in the back of restaurants. For some of you optimists out there, quite like myself, perhaps you're thinking of the opportunity that a child brings, like life and happiness. As one of those optimists, I'm a firm believer in going back to your roots and uncovering that inner child that I all know we have. When I was just 7 years old, I attended my first sleepaway camp in the San Juan Islands, and it changed my life forever. I was really shy, but the confidence that my counselors gave me inspired me to go back summer after summer and eventually led me to become staff at that same camp. Now I've spent 5 years working with kids as a babysitter, as a camp counselor, and as a daycare provider now. And I continue to watch myself grow as I watch the kids grow over the years. Now, as I have had that same impact from my counselors, each and every one of you in the audience can have the same impact and develop this sense of confidence in the kids that you can work with. For instance, when I first started working at the camp in the San Juans, we had this program called the Braggers Program, where we would encourage all the kids to get a goal, whether it was long-term or short-term goal. And at the end of the week, we would tie a rag around their neck with a knot symbolizing the strength of their goal. I had this one camper ask me to tie her rag, and at the end of the week, once I did, she started crying, telling me all her appreciative thoughts that she had towards me. It was the most moving moment that I've ever had with a child. And each and every one of you could have that same moving impact on a child's life. Sadly, in our lives, we're going to experience and meet people who are going through unimaginable pain. And the impact that we could have on their lives through our friendship and our care could make all the difference in the world. To be that adult that could instill a sense of confidence in another child, and to be the adult that could change a child's life. That is why our job is so important. It's not just the job of a parent to make sure that their child has a positive influence in their life, but rather it's the responsibility of every single one of us to raise the next generation and teach them wrong from right, teach them what's good in the world. Imagine, what if you were the one person who could make a difference in a child's life? Imagine how good that would feel. Now, as we're all nearing our college graduation, I know that sometimes as adults we forget to take a step back from the stresses and just the daily stressors that we encounter in our day-to-day lives. Working with a child, you get a better idea of how to uncover that inner child that we all have. For example, I have this concept that I actually share with all my kids, and I think adults could use it too. It's called ripping your cool card. So it's not a real card, but however, it's the fact that we don't need to be cool, we don't need to fit in order to succeed in life. Rather, what comes from inside of us is what matters the most. And that's why it matters to spend time with kids as an adult, is they teach us to be a kid again. They teach us just to be ourselves, which is the most important thing in life. Now, not only do kids do a really great job teaching us to be our kids again, to be a kid again, but they teach us to just love the little things in life, like we did when we were young. For example, I work at an elementary school, and when it turned spring, there were dandelions all over the place, and all the kids went crazy trying to pick each and every single one, giving me little bouquets. At first, I was a little bit irritated because I am allergic to pollen. However, I stopped myself in my annoyance. I thought, while these flowers, these weeds are frustrating for adults to pick, they're exciting and beautiful for children to try and pick one after the other as they try and beat their friends, giving out them to counselors, their parents, anything. And that was when my newfound appreciation for dandelions came back, was when I watched all these kids. They were so inspiring to see them go after all these dandelions, these sticky stem dandelions. But I remember the time when I would search for the ones with the seeds and blow them out, making a wish. Or I would give my mother a patch of the yellow ones as a gift. Loving the little things in life, just as a child does, is like looking at a weed and seeing its potential as a beautiful flower. Now, as some of you may be guessing, I was a little bit skeptical when I first started working with kids. They are extremely difficult to work with at times. However, it pays off in great amounts. I have become a child's best friend, their companion, and this is not just for the kids, it's for you as well. Working with kids is so beneficial. You can remember your childhood, remember how to be a kid again, and just learn to love the little things in life. I know that we all remember what it's like being a kid, having the scraped knees and the sticky fingers, having the long belly laughs that cause us to topple over. So don't be afraid to go back to your inner child. You never know what you'll discover about yourself. Thank you.